It's time for Dodger baseball.
What's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. The Dodgers get their second walk-off win of the week, this time thanks to Captain Clutch 2.0, the Clutch Prince. Don't forget who dubbed him the Clutch Prince after his first walk-off hit a few years ago back in 2019. It was none other than Will Smith, and they ripped his shirt all the way off, man. It was like Will's Magic Will on the field. They ripped his shirt all the way off, but it was a great performance by the Dodgers. And what is happening? The Dodgers, they're now winning extra innings games. They're 2-5 on the season. They're 8-1 on this homestand. They're 5-0 versus the Cubs this season. They now improve to 54-29 on the year. But welcome to the show, guys. And first and foremost, what are your thoughts? What's up, D-Mac? What up, Don Kim? Will the throw from Craig Osterberg? Check in here, guys. Check in here. What up, D-Mac? What up, Kevin? First and foremost, let's do the rundown here. Give me your big takeaways from tonight's Dodgers win. LA down 3-0. They claw their way back. Not their best night at the plate. They just weren't getting it done for the longest time tonight, and it just didn't look like a game that the Dodgers were going to come back and win. The offense, they were sputtering. They were just missing pitches all night long. Four-seam fastballs in the zone. Will Smith earlier in the game, Max Muncy, Mookie Betts, but Mookie Betts finds a way to come through in the bottom of the ninth to tie things up with the sac fly. And like I said, the Dodgers, they did have their issues in this one. But, yeah, man, the Dodgers came back and they got the win. So let's break it all down here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show because, yeah, I think Keegan Thompson, he was phenomenal tonight. He really was outstanding in this one. He comes in, has 8 punch-outs. Dodgers just couldn't get anything going. Like I said, missing pitches. But they find a way to get this dub, and lots of nice defensive plays in this one. How about Freddie Freeman saving the day there in the top of the 10th on a bad throw by Zach McKinstry? Look, you got to give Freddie Freeman a Gold Glove just for fielding against his own team in this one. So he made a big play, and the Dodgers just some big clutch hitting. And just look at the at bat there by Will Smith. Look, we did an office poll, or we did a little office segment for Designated Twitter the other day, and we went around saying if you could pick one Dodger to have at the plate with everything on the line to save your life, and me with zero hesitation, you know I said the Clutch Prince. You know I said Will Smith, because he has that slow heartbeat. He's got that poise. He's got that nice short compact stroke. He can just get to any ball. He's so focused at the plate. Nothing gets to him. And you saw it was such a great at-bat there in the bottom of the 10th inning. Freddie Freeman, of course, was intentionally walked in front of him. I'm not saying, and he falls down the count 0-2. He was down 0-2 in the count. He missed 2 straight four-seam fastballs, and then he takes 2 pitches, a four-seam fastball up and in, and then a slider that missed badly low and away from Wick, and then he fouls that four-seam fastball up high in the zone. Did a nice job just getting his barrel on that to foul it off, and then on the single, it just did a nice job putting a great swing on a four-seamer. Did a great job getting his hands in there, hitting that baseball to left field, and Will Smith comes through once again. But I want all your takeaways, guys, and as always, give me your, of course, as always, whoever's got the hottest take of the night, you're going to hear the Flames. Whoever's got the comment of the night, you're going to hear the you win. Anytime you guys have the best burn of the night can be about today's game. I want to talk about Ian Happ and Tyler Anderson. When Tyler Anderson, he basically did a little self-defense karate move, just shoving him to the side, straight trucking him. Tyler Anderson's got that dog in him. We're going to talk about that because that was a little bush league there by Ian Happ. But let's get into this one, guys. Lots of breakdown. But let's jump into the comments, guys. But like I said, comment of the night. Who's got it? Give me your big takeaways from tonight. Who is your player of the game? Tyler Anderson, despite kind of not having the best feel for his changeup later in the game, still, and really in the 6th inning, didn't have his best feel for the changeup. But Tyler Anderson, it was a great effort by him. He still was eating innings out there, went 7 innings, gave up 3 runs on 5 hits, had 4 punch-outs, still gave the Dodgers a chance to win, and most importantly, like I said, going deep into the game. We're going to break down his outing as well in a second. But let's get to your comments, guys. As Trey Lam, by the way, if you're new to the show, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and as always, smash that like button. Like I said, I'm the human hype machine, I'm the man, the fan. This is your show. I'm just hosting it, here to get your takes and your perspective on all things Dodger baseball. But let's get get right into it. Here we go. Slappy coming through for us. Paul Farman. We got Blue Heaven from 713. That's from Rod Wells. Nando 390. My wife wants more shirtless Will Smith. Yeah, that's what I'm calling him, Magic Will out there. They actually finally got the shirt off him. They stripped him on that one. That just had me rolling right there. And yeah, man, Will Smith, he's just a clutch hitter, man. He's a clutch hitter. You saw those veins. There was ice in those veins when his shirt was off. But Dodgers legend Will Smith, yeah, Will Smith, he is legend. D-Mac, your twin won the game. Emar, yeah, that's why if you notice the post-game shows took a couple minutes to get this thing going because I had to put my shirt back on and get into the studio because, Will Smith and I, we are the same dude. So, yeah, man, I saw the fastball. It's got my hands in on that. I won the damn thing for the Dodgers tonight. But Trey Slam season 2022, as a Trey Slam truther, life is good. Trey Slam season 2022, I just want to point out that when he hit that ball out there, you came to mind. You came to mind when Jake Lam got his first home run of the year, first home run of the as a Dodger. You're definitely the guy that came to mind. It was did a great job there in the 7th inning. We know that Jake Lam, the one thing he's really good at is hitting fastballs, and especially hitting fastballs low in the zone. And in that case, it was low. It was away on the outer half on the corner. He just put a good swing on it, got his bat on it, and he hit it out. So congratulations. I know you're thrilled today with that home run by Jake the Rake Lamb. So shout out to the Lamely out there. And look, it's great to see him, not even just that at bat there, because that was a great at bat there by Jake Lamb. But how about the fact that on the night, Jake Lamb, he ends up going 1 for 2, but with the RBI, of course, with the home run, first home run as a Dodger, was also able to draw that walk. So he's able to draw that walk and he also got hit by the pitch. He also got hit by that pitch that loaded the bases in the 2nd inning, and he walked on 5 pitches there in the bottom of the 9th. Really should have been on 4 pitches with that ball that was just 5 inches off the plate. It was definitely a terrible call there. So, yeah, Jake Lamb is looking like he is back to being a legitimate big leaguer, and is something really strongly to consider, because if you can count on the platoon of Jake Lamb and Trace Thompson, that's going to pay dividends for this Dodgers team, that they might be in the market for a right-handed bat if there's one out there that they can get without having to part ways with too many prospects. So, yeah, let's jump back to the comment section. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on Jake Lamb? I thought that he was outstanding. And for him to get his first home run, we've seen him raking in AAA the entire season. And there's a big difference between raking in AAA and raking in the show. And now he knows that he can go deep in the show, just like he did when he had that 2-year stretch where he had 59 home runs in a span of 2 years, made the All-Star team in 2017. But, yeah, I really feel happy for him. Very impressive night for Jake Lamb, no question about it. Thanks for being here for us, D-Mac. Yeah, Andre, it's almost like an emergency show. But, yeah, man, I can't miss a walk-off. Are you kidding me? Fresh Prince of L.A., the Clutch Prince of L.A., that's from Fancy King. Brandon Wilkes, great to see the clutch performances strung together. Dylan Hare, yeah, not a pretty win, but, hey, it's a win, and who doesn't love a thrilling walk-off? Yeah, the 3rd walk-off of the season for the Dodgers. Of course, you had one earlier against the Philadelphia Phillies, thanks to Gavin Lux. Gavin Lux had his fingerprints on this one as well throughout the night. Had the big triple, but yeah, and I think the big at bat, yeah, like you said, it wasn't pretty. I mean, you talk about coming back down 2 strikes that like Will Smith did. That was a fantastic at bat, and that's something you have come to expect with Will Smith at the plate. But Mookie Betts, I thought, really grinded out that at bat there in the bottom of the 9th inning. So Mookie Betts, he finds a way. He goes down the hole 0-2, and he finds his way to get back in the count. You saw him fouling off just hanging sliders there that he knows that he can drive, and that was a real cement mixer slider that he just fouled off. And that was kind of the theme of the night for this Dodgers offense. They just weren't getting their bat to the ball on certain pitches that they typically have driven this entire season. They weren't punishing mistakes like we've seen them do in recent weeks, and that is one thing if you want to find a chink in the armor, if you want to spot a pimple on a model, so to speak, that the Dodgers, they do have their issues with four-seam fastballs, and tonight was no different. You saw some chases with the four-seam fastball for strikeouts with Trey Turner. You saw them taking four-seam fastballs right down the middle at times. And yes, this team, they're great at covering multiple pitches. They can punish, like I said, hanging breaking balls. They can get to sliders and get to two-seam fastballs. But, yeah, they're one of the worst four-seam fastball hitting teams in all of Major League Baseball. We saw that on display tonight. but they still were able to get it done. And look, sometimes you need to win like this. Look, you need to win these tight games, because these tight games, they build character, and that is what you're seeing with this Dodgers team. They're finding a way to win, and that's when you become tough to beat, when you become very frustrated, when you become very frustrating to play against, because look, you think you're going to win, you think that you put yourself with Keegan Thompson really in 5 2/3, just 2 hits off of him, 8 punch outs. He was dealing, and I really liked his sequencing tonight. I thought they did a great job calling a great game for him. Really had hitters off balance, working his curveball, working that fastball. I thought he was really outstanding, and his ERA 3.16 on the year. And they just kind of made him look like he was a better pitcher than he was. They had him looking like Kerry Wood or something crazy like that during certain at-bats, because the Dodgers just were not seeing it well against him. They looked uncomfortable, and I think a lot of that credit has to go to the pitch sequencing, just keeping the Dodgers hitters off balance. So, yeah, for them to kind of gut their way through this game and find a way to win in the end, it was really just an outstanding job by this Dodger team that now they're starting to turn the corner in World Series games, in extra innings games. Dare I say that this Dodger team is starting to have more success in these games in extras, and I think that you got to give a lot of credit to that bullpen. They were quick, they were efficient tonight. You look at Yency Almonte, he goes an inning, just 5 pitches, 4 for strikes. You're seeing broken bats on that two-seamer. Then Caleb Ferguson, give a lot of love to Fergie out there. He goes 1 inning, 7 pitches, 1 punch out, and then Evan Phillips, Dr. Phil, he gets the win. And he throws just 8 pitches there. And like I said, a lot of credit to that outstanding play made by Freddie Freeman on that bouncing throw from Zach McKinstry. Just a nice stretch on that one, a Bikram yoga stretch by Freddie Freeman. But let's get back in the comments. Like I said, who's got the comment of the night? I'm going to do a big comment rundown right now. Let's do it. What up, D-Mac? What up, Jonathan Robles? Great identity to build going into the All-Star break. Michelle Carter, I just want to thank the boys for ripping Will's shirt off. Yeah, a lot of people loving Magic Will, as I'm calling him here on this show. I mean, come on, man. If you're going to rip his shirt off, at least the Dodgers got to have some ones or something like that. Make it rain on him. Pretend they're like Spearmint Rhino or something like that. So, yeah, it's funny because sometimes, they struggle to get that shirt off, but they found a way to do it today. And yeah, Will Smith, man, you got to feel great for the guy, man. He's just such a fantastic player, in my opinion. There's no question about it that, yeah, along with Contreras, he is definitely, and Salvador Perez, one of the premier offensive catchers in Major League Baseball. But to me, if you look at his OPS, if you look at his WRC+, since he stepped onto the scene in 2019, he has been the best offensive catcher, and he was outstanding at the plate once again. He goes 2 for 4, and you're seeing not just clutch hitting, he is the clutch prince, but 2 strikes in the count. And he works his way back, grinds that at-bat out, gets his hands in, and he's able to single to win the game. Dodgers get the win by a score of 4-3. 6 hits for the Dodgers. They out-hit the Cubs 6-5, and they played a clean game. And we're going to talk about Tyler Anderson in a minute. Give your grade for Tyler Anderson. What do you grade T.A. Tyler, the outs creator, Siler Anderson? What's your grade for Tyler Anderson on the night? Let me know down below. We got players like Jake Lam and Trey Thompson are stepping up this year. Something special is brewing. That's from David Feldman. Yeah, it's definitely a very pleasant surprise. It's a refreshing upgrade from, let's be honest, there were some bottom of the barrel players last year that just weren't getting it done, from the Sheldon Noiseys to the Zach Rexes to the Luke Rayleys to even Matt Beatty really wasn't, he did okay in his role, but I mean, this is definitely an upgrade, an influx of talent coming off the bench, and if they can keep this up, and that is a big if, I can't stress that enough, especially when you look at Trey Thompson, his success against righties, his BABIP being high, got a bigger swing, there's no question about it, but yeah, I think his attitude, he's poised at the plate. He's not trying to do too much in certain counts. Looks very comfortable, and he looks like a 31-year-old veteran player that spent a lot of time at the minor league level just grinding his way back to the bigs, back to the show. And then same thing with Jake Lam. I mean, he's a guy that's dealt with a serious shoulder injury. He was a former All-Star. He's had his own trials and tribulations. But for Rake Lam to get back to the show, hey, man, joined the Lamely, as I like to say. Freeman, hands down, saved the game with that play. That's from ACDC Freak. Phillips is our closer, Craig Osterberg. I have been talking a little bit about that. And there's the fire take from you. Shout out to my man Craig Osterberg. A day one here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. But Let's see how Tommy Canley looks. Let's see how Blake Trinan looks. Let's see how Craig Kimbrell looks if he can find a way to figure things out. I think last night with Craig Kimbrell, he had some issues, of course, going on the back-to-back. He looked fatigued. And, it's unfortunate for Craig Kimbrell that he wasn't able to figure things out at the end of the day. But, we'll see. Because Evan Phillips, the guy that, you're seeing his ability to miss bats. He's got that filthy movement. His stuff moves more than a military family. And for him to go out there and be a guy that you can throw in high-leverage situations, I think that's going to be big for this Dodgers team moving forward. So let's wait and see how Blake Trinan looks. I was in the clubhouse yesterday. Lots of good feelings about Blake Trinan. Blake Trinan in the clubhouse told us that, it was a good day for him. And he went out there, and he's a few weeks away from facing hitters. So, he's definitely on the right track. But when you talk about Craig Kimbrell last night versus the top of that Cubs order, he was, he struck out Ortega, he struck out Horner. They just kind of lost that command, gave that base hit to Ian Happ, and then, things just kind of fell off the rails right there. He just couldn't put away Seiya Suzuki. But, Craig Kimbrell, we'll talk about him another day. Let's stick to tonight's big comeback win, guys. Like I said, give me your comment of the night. Do you have any burns? What are your thoughts on Ian Happ? And him, to me, he was very Bush League. Yes, he was inside the baseline, but still, you don't throw you don't go for the glove and you throw your shoulders at a pitcher. That's just a no-no. We got Smith Betta. I see what you did, Austin Lime. Austin Lime, I'm writing that down. That's a contender. Smith Betta, I like that. Contender for comment of the night. A lot of terrible calls, Seth Gribble. Yeah, really for both ways. The umpiring was just bad. You had the wide strike zone. Just look at the Jake Lam call. And look at Mookie Betts. He went down. He got rung up twice on strike three, on called strike threes outside the zone. So, it was definitely not a good day for the ump. But, hey, we've come to expect that. These guys, might as well have Stevie Wonder out there, okay? Just these umpires this year, they've been catastrophic, and that's why my theory is, it always has been, that these umpires have secretly invested in the robo-ump technology, and they want Major League Baseball to go to this robo-ump technology so they can get paid by it. So they're umping terribly on purpose. I know it's a wacky tinfoil hat theory, but that's what I'm saying. Don Kim, important to head into the break on a hot, sizzling win streak. That's a fantastic point, Don Kim, and I just want to say, what up, my man? Because you are the man. And really, look at this. Don Kim, the Dodgers have been hitting tons of dongs. Six runs off home runs this series for this Dodgers team. They had 4 home runs last night. And today they get the bomb from Jake Lam, Rake Lam, as we like to call him here. So, it was nice to see the Dodgers find a way to manufacture those runs later in the game. We're going to get into that right now. But let's jump back in the comment section. Smash that like button, fam. Thanks a lot, Hannibal Hector. Finally winning in extras, Angelo Bailey. Angelo Bailey. That's definitely a positive development because, look, at some point, like I told you on this show, the Dodgers, they like to slug. They like to hit for power. They like to manage their bullpen like it's a 9-inning game. And also the zombie runner, as I like to call it, or the ghost runner that Joe and Earl don't like to call it. They struggle scoring that runner and allowing that runner to score for the opposing team. So today I think the fact that you have Trey Turner on second, such a fast, lightning base runner, and you have Will Smith at the plate, a guy that has those bat-to-ball skills that can get you a clutch base hit, it worked in their favor. So Fresh Prince is an all-star, no question about it. He absolutely belongs in the all-star game. It would be a bigger slap in the face than Will Smith and Chris Rock if he didn't make the All-Star team. I'm just saying he absolutely belongs. This is the year. I spoke to Will Smith during spring training. I asked him that straight up about being an all-star, and he usually, you'll get that, those answers, well, they're kind of tiptoe around the question, or they'll say the right thing, like, oh, if everything works out and that happens, it'd be great, and this and that, cliche stuff. But he said point blank straight up that he wanted to be an all-star. He thinks that he has it in him to be an all-star, and that's something that he felt he's capable of. So he's a very confident guy, and that's definitely a goal of his. So I'd absolutely want to see him in the All-Star team, and I think he's earned it, and tonight only helps his case. But Betts and Turner are All-Star starters. I just dropped a video on the Dodgers Nation posts on the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel about that. Thanks, Craig Osterberg, for the little plug there. Will is the GOAT, Austin Lime. TA should be in the All-Star game if you ask me, AC/DC freak. You bring up a great point because Tyler Anderson his story mirrors Tony Gonsolin's in a lot of ways. A guy that really was talked about as a multi-inning bullpen piece, a guy that might be a piggyback starter, a guy that might be your back-end bullpen guy. But Tyler Anderson, if you look at his numbers, he's right up there. And he's been able to really eat so many innings. I mean, you saw him flirting with a no-hitter. You saw what he was able to do tonight. Tonight, I'll be honest, it looked like he had no-hit stuff, and I was getting those feelings, getting those vibes from TA tonight. And like I said on Twitter, I said, look, Tyler Anderson is not going to be happy until he throws a no-hitter. It just feels like when he's on, he has a feel for that changeup. He's locating that fastball, and his fastball is like in the bottom 5 percentile of the league. It's not important for him. It's just about using his off speed to set up that fastball. When he has the feel for that changeup and the slider and the cutter, then you're seeing him throw that fastball with the conviction, allowing it to pump strikes with it and keep hitters off balance. But yeah, Tyler Anderson, look at me heading into today, a 1.8 WAR, a 3.09 ERA heading into today's game. And the most important thing for the Dodgers when it comes to Tyler Anderson is you look at those innings. If you look at the innings for Tyler Anderson, that is what is the most important, and he's definitely a guy that deserves consideration because you're talking about 91 and a thirds innings pitched for TA, and he's gone out there and he's really just embraced this role. I mean, it was a real next man up mentality when Walker Buehler goes down, Andrew Heaney goes down, Clayton Kershaw goes down, and then Tyler Anderson, he stepped right up. He became Tyler the outs creator. Tyler Anderson, that ERA down to 3.15 on the season, 4 punchies, 3 earned runs. It really wasn't even his best stuff tonight, and we've seen him have better strikeout numbers, but he still got the job done. And like I said, we're going to get into his outing more in depth in just a second, but I thought the fact he gave the Dodgers a chance to win, and more importantly, like we saw against the Phillies, one thing I really like about Tyler Anderson that I don't think really gets talked about enough is how he's able to pitch even when he doesn't have his best stuff. Even when he is giving up runs, he still goes out there and he still eats innings. You don't get those complete meltdowns where he completely gets chased out of ball games. Save for the one start on the road against the Cubs where he gave up 4 runs in 3 innings of work and he just didn't have the feel for his changeup. He was missing arm side with the fastball, just didn't have it that day. Save for that, he's been going deep into games. Against Colorado, at Colorado, gave up 4 earned runs, still went 6 innings. The one that really comes to mind is at home against the Phillies, where he gives up those 7 earned runs on 2 home runs, but still managed to go 6 innings pitched. So he's got a lot of heart, and like I said, the way he throws Ian Happ, I'm telling you, did he play baseball at the University of Oregon, or did he... was he Kayvon Thibodeau? Was he Thibodeau, and was he a Duck? Was he on the football team at the University of Oregon? Because he just straight up trucked him, just like threw him off. Like, bro, what are you doing, man? I thought that was that shows a little glimpse into the heart and soul of T.A. Tyler Anderson. And I just think that, yeah, he is really kind of an unsung hero for this Dodgers team, and really just not getting the credit that he deserves because he is getting the chase rate. He's really up towards the top at just keeping guys off the base paths. He doesn't walk guys. He's in the 93rd percentile when it comes to walk percentage. He's elite when it comes to eliminating hard contact and average exit velocity. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Tyler Anderson. And let me ask you guys this question. Let's get your Tyler Anderson takes, and I want all your takes on Ian Happ because I have some thoughts on that in a second. But let's do a big rundown of the comments. Beatty had his moments. Tyler Anderson B+ tonight from Rod Wells. Anthony Keene, Tyler gets a solid A for how he came through. Lucio Lux has to go back to second. Thompson left. DH Lamb. Yeah, interesting because, it's interesting you bring that up while we're talking about Tyler Anderson because you go to the top of the 4th inning there. T.A. he strikes out Morrow swinging with a changeup low and in for the first out. Then he gets Happ to ground to second for the second out. And at that point, Anderson, he looked like he was completely dialed in. And dare I say, he had some no-hit stuff. He had some maybe perfect game stuff. I don't know that crazy, only 23 in the history of the game. But he had retired all 11 batters that he had faced at that point. And then the next batter, Patrick Wisdom, on a 2-2 count, he singles to right on a check swing single, and that shift had Muncy playing to the left side of the infield. But you mentioned Gavin Lux. I think Gavin Lux, he might have gotten to that ball. I think he gets to that ball, and he at least makes a bang-bang play at first. I think it'd be close with the way we saw Freddie Freeman doing his best G-Man Choi impersonation, put him on a balance beam the way he can do the splits. give him an Olympic gold medal for the U.S. gymnastics team. Look, the way that Freddie Freeman can stretch, I think that could have been a bang-bang play. And you see that would have been 12 consecutive without have had him retiring the first 12 batters that he faced in the game. So, and it was just kind of funny because that shift had Muncie playing where he was, and you're talking about a little check swing base hit there by Wisdom, but at that point, next batter, 2-2 count to Suzuki. He lines the center for the third out. So D-Mac, sir, Stone Cold Tyler Anderson took the field today. Absolutely 10 of 10, shoving Happ to the ground. Eric Caseta. He's Craig Crumble. That's from Angelo. We got Edward. You came over here with no jersey. What happened to your jersey, Kirsten? Did she say that? Okay. TMZ exclusive, Will Smith's tramp stamp exposed and walk-off hit. Did he really have Boomer Assassin? I'm writing that down because I still have the one from earlier about Will Smith beta, but Boomer Assassin, you are a contender for comment of the night. Did he really have some ink down there? Good times. Closer by committee at this point, Anthony King. You know I've been a big proponent for that for years, but I think in this situation, when you have Craig Kimbrell, if he's going to work out, it's going to be as a closer. He's not going to be a guy that you're going to throw in there in the 7th or 8th inning in different high-leverage situations, because we know that 369 career saves. He's a guy that feels comfortable in that closer's role, and that's how you're going to best optimize what he has left. But Will Smith needs some tattoos. Okay. I'm going to get try to do a Pete Rose. Tyler looked pissed. Ian could have injured him. Strike zone was terrible from Sonny. That's from Rebecca. Happ got what he deserved. Yeah, you guys know. The big issue there was, look, if Andrew Friedman had already traded for Ian Happ like I told him to, we would have worried about what happened in that inning. So let's jump into that, though. So the top of the 6th, actually more comments, and we'll jump into that inning. Betts at least had the fly ball for us, so I say Betts did okay today. ACDC Freak. Tom Lou, Ian Happ, straight trash. LOL. What up, D-Mac? Fresh Prince will be the next Mike Piazza. Max Kuhn. No question he is that next great Dodger catcher. From Campanella, you got so many throughout the years. Yeager, you got Mike Piazza. Just Mike Socha. There's so many great Dodger catchers in the history of the game, and I think Will Smith, there's no question, especially when you look at from a hitting standpoint, he's in the mix for sure. So yeah, I thought it was pretty amazing to see him continue to just make up that all-star case. And like I said, I want to see him be that next great Dodger catcher. And I think that you talk about the history with Steve Yeager, you talk about even going back to Johnny Roseboro and Socha, what he did in his day. Mike Piazza, of course, the greatest Dodger catcher of all time is Campy, Roy Campanella, former MVP winner, 8-time All-Star. So not even that. I think Campbell was. Look it up, guys. I think Campbell was a 3-time MVP, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, he was fantastic. And, yeah, the great lineage, the heritage of elite receivers that have come through this organization, worn the Dodger blue. There's no question that Will Smith is that man. He is him. He is legend. Will Smith equals power, willpower, EB. That's a contender. I'm going to give you the fire emoji. Evan Phillips for closer. Okay, that's from Fletcher Hall. We got the Evan Phillips for closer movement. You got to think of a good hashtag for that, guys. Throw out some hashtags for Phillips for closer. Dr. Filth. Will Smith. Sonny, when they intentionally walked Freeman, should they have tried for a double steal? Worst case, Trey is thrown out, but still have runner on second. At that point, you don't want to give away outs. That's something that came to my mind, Sonny, in that situation. Maybe you try to be a little more aggressive, but when you have a hitter like Will Smith that can win the game, you can win the game with a single, and that's exactly how they won the game. They won the game with the single. Of course, with a wild pitch, runner on third, you put some more pressure on the pitcher. There's no question about it, but I think at that stage of the game, with the amount of outs in the inning, I think he let Will Smith have that clean at-bat with Trey at second, Freddie at first. But, yeah, I thought that, if you want to go ultra-aggressive, you can. But still, even the fastest runners on in the game, it's still a risk to give some of those outs. But especially when you have the ghost runner. And you also don't want to give outs knowing you don't want to extend this bullpen because of how excellent and efficient they were tonight. So I'm going to need that shirt, D-Mac. All right, man, where's the team that can rip it off me, bro? Only problem I have with Trey is he doesn't work the count, practically swings at every pitch. Carl, yeah, I think when you look at Trey Turner, his chase numbers aren't that great. You saw him striking out at pitches, elevated pitches out of the zone. You saw when he comes in there tonight, in this one that in the bottom of the ninth inning, he didn't he didn't come through, and that was I think one with the first or second pitch of the at bat. So yeah, I think the situation where you definitely want to see him to calm down. I mean, the bottom of the ninth, Mookie Betts, that was just a grinder at bat. I was very impressed by Mookie Betts because it felt like just right when he stepped into the box, he was down in the hole 0-2. But he worked his way back. He fouled off those 3 straight pitches, a couple of them that we've seen Mookie hit out of the park this year, some hanging cutters and sliders from Robertson. But then on that cutter, center cut, middle, he hits it for a sac fly. Did you guys think that was gone? Didn't quite have that sound. I thought maybe he might have gotten a hold of it. The ball wasn't carrying as much tonight, but did you guys think he got a hold of it? But he did his job. Went up there, he tied the game with that sac fly, and then Trey Turner, a 1-0 count. He lined to center on a ball low and away. So, yeah, not the most selective hitter. You're definitely onto something there. But the offense is just better when Trey leads off. Mookie hits homers, puts him in put him in the 3-hole, please. Marco, I think that as long as you have Freddie, who's actually picked up his slugging numbers in the last month, I think that he's fine in the 3-hole, especially when you consider the fact that Trey has those reverse splits. When you talk about Mookie Betts, he's mashing against lefties again this season, so I'm fine with it as it stands with Trey Turner, Mookie Betts, and Freddie Freeman, because the number 2 hitter, that's the most important hitter when you talk about plate appearances in the game right now. So I'm definitely fine with that. But do you think Will Smith should be an all-star? Absolutely 100%. If he's not, I might have to riot, okay? I might have to go slap someone like Will Smith did. I look for Campbell to have a better second half, and if he doesn't, we have some depth, and maybe we can grab another back-end reliever. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much if you heard Andrew Friedman and his comments he made to the Athletics' Fabian Ardaya. He talked about how he does not like to pay up for relievers. You see that's Tony Cingranis and Watsons and guys like that, the Madsons throughout the years, but you're not getting the big-name relievers that we've seen on the block over the past couple of seasons. You've heard Dodger fans clamoring for Josh Hader. Of course, you're not going to see that, but he doesn't get part ways with big-time prospects for relievers. That's just not what he does. That's not part of his strategy, and it's no secret at this point, but we'll see how Craig Kimbrell fares. You also have to figure that it's going to be tough to move that deal. I mean, he's on the same contract as Kenley Jansen is on $16 million. Yes, it's expiring, but if you trade him now, his value is kind of it's low-ish. I think he's definitely not as bad as Dodger fans make him out to be, but I totally understand. Lamb chopped one out of there. AC/DC Freak, I'm going to give you comment of the night. Let's just do it. Comment of the night goes to AC/DC Freak. Lamb chopped one out of here. That's what I'm talking about. And look, a lot of people thought that Lamb was chopped liver at one point in his career, that his career was done, that he was washed. But credit to him for working his way back. And it was a special night for Jake the Rake Lamb, going out there and hitting his first bomb in Dodger blue. But Muncy is not going anywhere. Sorry, Dodgers are the best. I agree with you. Good night, spammer. Oh, we have a spammer again? I've been good about deleting people or blocking people. I like Muncy. Freeman's defense is so clutch. Yeah, Sonny, like we talked about. Let's jump into this bottom of the 6th inning. Keep firing away with your takes on Tyler Anderson and Ian Happ. Muncy can jump. Yeah, that was a nice play, too, defensively, that later in the game that Max Muncy made. And, yeah, I mean, that was a great defensive play there in the 8th by Max Muncy. That catch to end the inning there when Ian Happ kind of lined to second on Max Muncy, really air Muncy, man. I like that. That was a great play, and he's a really good athlete. I mean, to me, I feel like he could be a Pro Bowl linebacker or something like that. But he's definitely so much more athletic than you realize out there, and it was definitely a great play. But Strider, hear you 120. I'm definitely for it, especially right now. Hi, everybody. That ump was freaking inconsistent. Yeah, I mean, I think that's one thing you kind of just hope for. If you're going to have a bad strike zone, just be consistent with both teams. And we saw the way he was calling pitches just 4, 5, 6, 7 inches felt like off the plate, especially outside to left-handed batters. I thought that, there were some bad pitches. I thought high up in the zone inside to right-handed pitchers was also tough as well. But the Dodgers catchers are solid, absolutely blue magic. That's why they re-signed Austin, Crazy Eyes, Killa Barnes, because they have the best 1-2 catcher combination in the league, in my opinion. Dr. Phil for closer. That's from Rebecca. Start the hashtag. There you go. I was right. Campbell did have 3 MVPs. Thank you, Sailed Loner and Lou R., my research department over there, giving me the facts. But I guess I was right. Phillips should be an all-star, but won't be because it's a popularity contest. That is a great point right there. When you are a first-time all-star, a lot of times it's almost like you're in a boxing match. And you really have to win convincingly to get the win. And I agree with you on that. You have to make a major statement to really get that first all-star nod. Piazza's career would have been wasted in that moment. In Dodgers history did him a favor. That's interesting, Gary, because you're saying where the Dodgers were. Yeah, I guess that's technically true for sure. I mean, going through the Fox ownership and going through going to the McCourt years. I mean, that was just not a great year for Dodger baseball. So LeBron, Kyrie, 2023 champs. Hey, D-Mac and Dodgers Nation. What up, Carnivorous Lunar Activity? I like Mike Piazza. Hashtag Phillips closing time. I like that, Boomer Assassin. Closing time. Breg Brimble. I like that one too. Evan Phillips is looking good. Yeah, Evan Phillips, he's been absolutely outstanding. I mean, the way that this organization put so much confidence in him and the way that he's been going out there and just making use of the attacks, the pitch sequencing, the way that he uses that filthy slider, that filthy cutter. And, yeah, man, he's just an absolute beast. And you saw today, I mean, he's breaking bats. He's out there late having that's when I really felt good about this win, when you saw Phillips there in the top of the 10th inning and gives you that confidence. And, yeah, man, his cutter is just absolutely – I mean, it's just filthy. It's dirty. It's nasty. It should be – I mean, it should be illegal. I mean, it should be illegal to have a cutter that just breaks that much, man. It's such a fantastic cutter. And then I think, too, the way you use that slider, the way he's able to induce that soft contact, he's just been an absolute rock for this Dodgers team. And, yeah, I mean, they've definitely discovered someone in Phillips. He is, like Dave Roberts said a few days ago, he absolutely is a dude. And he's a guy that he's continuing to build confidence. If you look at his numbers, a 1.6 ERA, a .83 whip, 39 strikeouts on the season. And look, he hasn't allowed. I'm probably gonna jinx the hell out of him, but he hasn't allowed an earned run since May 26th in a 2-inning appearance against the Arizona Diamondbacks in LA's 14-1 win over the D-backs. So yeah, I mean, he has been just sensational. He had a 0 ERA in June. He has a 0 ERA in July. So, yeah, Evan Phillips, man, I don't know if the national media is going to give you some love, but we're definitely going to give you all the love you need here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. I love that. But, yeah, I mean, he is just fantastic. And, yeah, Evan Almighty for sure. Absolutely. Evan Almighty. Do you think Dodgers should have kept Seager, Dynasty, Dino? I absolutely don't think they should have kept Singer. I love what Corey Seager did for the Dodgers in his time here. I mean, it's tough to see. It's tough anytime you see a player that you have developed turn into a star and a guy that becomes the Rookie of the Year, a guy that becomes a multi-time All-Star, a guy that wins the NLCS and World Series MVP. It's tough to have a player like that walk, but if you look at his numbers with the Rangers so far, he's hitting .233. He has a 107 OPS plus, a 724 OPS, 16 home runs. We know that he can be streaky and he can get hot, but to me, when you talk about defensively, he just is not a shortstop. I mean, time's ticking on that, and you're talking about $325 million for a player that might be a first baseman or a third baseman at some point, and I don't think his offense, what he can do at the plate, yes, he does have an elite hit tool when he's on, but it's not enough to justify paying that amount of money. So to me, I don't lose sleep over Seager. I mean, I think what he did in 2020, it was awesome. I thank him for it. It was a Corey Book season for Seager, but no, the answer is no to that. But here, jump to the top of the 6th inning, because that's where the Dodgers got into trouble. So Bodie, he hits a leadoff single to center, changeup outer half elevated, and that's the thing when you see with Tyler Anderson. Watch in the future when he's elevating that changeup, it doesn't have that same break. It doesn't have that same movement to it, and a lot of times that's a bad sign. That's a sign that he's starting to hang them a little bit. And the first pitch to Morel, he reaches on a bunt single, did a nice job getting it by Anderson. Muncy was positioned to the left there First time with multiple base runners for the Cubs on the night. So definitely a threat was brewing. And then the ball gets behind Will Smith, bounces in front of the plate, just didn't get his glove low enough, and it gets past him. The runners advance, giving the Cubs runners on second and third. And then with runners on second and third, no outs, a 1-0 pitch to Happ. He doubles to left, changeup low and in. Not a terrible pitch at all. It wasn't like the changeups we had seen earlier in the inning where they were elevated and just kind of hanging there. Really hit his spot, really located that one well, had the movement, just a nice piece of hitting there by Happ. And then Patrick Wisdom, next batter up. By the way, that puts the Cubs up 3-0 at that point. And then Patrick Wisdom, he lays a bunt down for the first out. Happ, he advances to third, and the next batter, Suzuki, he grounds to the fielder's choice, and he advances to second. Happ, he tries to go at Anderson's glove right there, and I love the way that Anderson just threw his ass off. Like I said earlier, it did feel like some guy who had gotten like a black belt in a self-defense class, just throwing him off to the side right there, gives him a dirty little look like, bro, what are you doing? You're trying to do too much, and I think the fact that Wisdom in the Cubs dugout, they had an issue with that, was absolutely absurd. You don't do that to a pitcher, not in that circumstance. So, yeah, I think it was a Bush League move there by Happ, and yeah, he goes for Anderson's glove on the slide into home. So, yeah, real Bush League there, shoves him off, just kind of trucks him. But and then Horner, he flied to center for the third out. So 3 straight hits for the Cubs in that inning. You're starting to get concerned. Maybe they could blow it wide open. But yeah, then the bottom of the 6th inning, Betts, he grounded to short. Turner, he struck out swinging. Freeman, he doubles to left with 2 outs. And then let's talk about Will Smith. Will Smith, he ends up. What's in here? I think I lost my comments again. Oh, here we go. How many Dodgers will be All-Stars? Man, that's a good question. Really, at this point, it's tough to say because we know, of course, Mookie and Trey, they're starring the All-Star game. Clayton Kershaw could get in. Julio Urias could get in. Tony Gonsolin's a lock to get in. Tyler Anderson, he's definitely made a case. And then you talk about Will Smith and Freddie Freeman. I think Freddie Freeman gets in, and Will Smith is the big one that I think that he should make it at the end of the day. He goes 2 for 4 tonight, had a walk, an RBI, gets a walk-off hit there in the 10th. Everyone around the league, they know about his offensive prowess, and I think that he absolutely should make the All-Star team. So, yeah, it could be filled with All-Stars. I mean, look, it is at Dodger Stadium. It is in L.A. The Dodgers do have the best record in the National League. It does make a lot of sense for L.A. to put a lot of All-Stars in the game. So, yeah. Back to that 6th inning. So Freeman, he doubles to left, and some more 2-strike hitting, by the way. Some nice 2-strike hitting by the Dodgers tonight. Here's another example there, and a great at-bat by Freddie Freeman. A 2-2 count. He fouls off the slider low and in. And then, finally, we get a double on a 4-seam fastball. So the Dodgers finally having some success on an elevated 4-seamer, and he doubles to left. And then the next batter, Will Smith, he hits one to right. And Seiya Suzuki, he just loses it, man. That's a play that every big leaguer should make, and he just wasn't able to do it. So the Dodgers are able to score their first run of the night there. That makes it 3-1, and that kind of just changes the game for the Dodgers because look, the offense wasn't doing much, and they were really having issues the entire game. And Thompson, he's having so much success for the Cubs, and it looked like, hey, this is a game that the Dodgers are probably going to lose. But, that gave some life into this Dodgers offense, and they were finally able to get it going. Definitely sparked something, and almost reminded me of a Zokar over the weekend struggling in right field. Is the right field cursed at Dodger Stadium? But, talking about Larry Walker, remember what happened to him back in the day. This are the Dodgers I think should go to the All-Star games from Alfredo. Betts, Trey Turner, Kershaw, Gonsolin, and Smith. Long shots, Urias, and Freeman. I think Freeman gets in. Of course, you have Alonso. You have Crone, CJ Crone, the Crone zone. Every team has to have their representative. He's a guy that should probably be their representative. And then you have Goldschmidt, who's an absolute lock. So we'll see. But Freddie Freeman, he's another guy that kind of deserves that reputation, all-star nod. And he's having a fantastic year himself. I mean, Freddie Freeman is, if you look at his numbers, he's definitely a guy that deserves all-star consideration. I think that, like I said, the games are just better if Freddie Freeman's there. I mean, you want that billion-dollar megawatt smile there if you're Major League Baseball having Freddie Freeman. I mean, he's 5th in all of Major League Baseball with 26 doubles and 857 OPS on the season. He's almost at 300 as far as his batting average goes. He's hitting 297, so 10 home runs. I mean, Freddie Freeman should absolutely be in the All-Star game. Of course, Matt Olson, you talk about him, he's the guy that definitely should probably deserve some strong consideration and make it as well. So, yeah, the first base position is stacked in the National League. When you have Olson, 828 OPS, 49 RBI, 33 doubles, leads all of Major League Baseball with 33 two-baggers, and then Paul Goldschmidt, an OPS of 1,044. Of course, he's a lock. He's a legitimate MVP candidate along with Manny Machado, and I think Mookie Betts will be back in that mix very soon here. So, yeah, it's going to be tough, but I think he gets in. Trey greater than signed Seager, that's from BC. I love Seager, but the squad. But let me ask you guys that question too. Do you think the Dodgers will regret not signing Corey Seager? He signed that 10-year, $325 million deal with the Texas Rangers, and he signed that Texas-sized contract, and I just think that, hey, man, that was a massive overpay. Let's just be honest about it, man. Let's call a spade a spade. Corey Seager, Scott Boras, he got the bag. I think they're going to regret that contract. I don't think it's going to age well at all, just because you consider his injury history, when you consider the fact that that's premium shortstop money, and he's not a premium shortstop. Maybe at the plate in the batter's box when he's on he is, but defensively he won't be a shortstop for very much longer. And I know he's stubborn about that, and he wants to play shortstop, but if you look at the range, if you look at the fact that, man, I think Trey Turner got more dirt on his jersey in one game than Corey Seager had for his entire career in Dodger Blue, it almost feels like. And the penchant to backhand stuff, I mean, I don't know. It wasn't fun. It wasn't a fun watch. We'll always love Siegs, but not for $300+ million, JRM. Yeah, I mean, I think that you can have I think you can recognize what he did for this team and realize that it was still time to turn the page. And I think it's interesting, John Heyman, he ended up reporting a few months after the fact that the Dodgers had offered him a $290 million deal. No one from the Dodgers confirmed that, or any Dodgers insiders. So I'm questioning if that's actually true, because I just don't think that the Dodgers, well, I don't know. The Dodgers did offer him an extension before the season that was like $225 to $250 million, something in that range. So they did want him back, but definitely not at that astronomical price. But we got David. Dustin May would be a huge lift to this team, right, Doug? Absolutely, David. There's no question. Like you heard me say on the roundtable, he's an X factor. He's a guy that is going to be a big piece in the second half of the season, whether that be out of the Dodgers bullpen, maybe as a weapon late in games, or as a starter pitching 3 to 4 innings, and we'll see how built up he can get. But yeah, there's no question about it that the Dodgers have a big role for Dustin May, and that they're looking for him to be a key contributor down the stretch after the All-Star break. But Trish Sloan, I like that. The Padres City Connect jerseys are trash. You're going to get to finish him, because that was a solid burn.
Finish him.
That would be so unfair if we signed Judge and Ohtani. LOL. I would love to see Ohtani in Dodger blue. Puig has the same age in his Bauer, so hopefully we sign him. Puig is, I mean, he's got like a 700 something OPS in overseas right now. So yeah, I don't think that I just don't see. Yeah, man. If you look at his KBO numbers, he'll always be a Dodger hero, but I think he's going to stay on the Kiwoom heroes of the KBO, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, he just doesn't have it right now in his career. That bat speed has really slowed down. No Puig, too much drama and bad chemistry. That's from Sonny. Yeah, let's keep plowing along in this game. So we talked about the home run, bottom of the 7th, 2-0 count to Jake Lam, homered. Like I said, a great fastball hitter, especially low in the zone. He cranked a 96-mile-per-hour fastball out for his first Dodger home run. And then Cody Bellinger, who did not have a good night. I mean, we can jump back to the second inning when the Dodgers really missed their opportunity there in the bottom of the second. 3-2 pitch, Will Smith, he singled to right center on a cutter, inner half. Muncy drew a walk on 5 pitches to give the Dodgers runners on first and second, no outs. And then Justin Turner, he flies out for the first out. Then Jake Lamb, he gets hit by a pitch to load the bases, and then with the bases drunk and 1 out, Cody Bellinger at the plate, he takes ball 1 low, takes a 4-seam fastball low and away for strike 1, fouls off the 1-1 pitch for strike 2, and then fouls off another 4-seam fastball top of the zone, outer half, And then on the 5th pitch of the at-bat, he strikes out on a curveball away. And how about this? On 0-2 counts this year, Cody Bellinger on breaking balls when he has 2 strikes has not recorded a hit. So he's really struggled in those situations. And then with 2 outs, Gavin Lux, he hit one that kind of went off the bat that kind of almost felt like it could do damage, but it didn't quite have that sound, and he flies to center. So, yeah, it didn't have that magic sound. But Dodgers had the bases loaded with 1 out and couldn't score a run. Bad at-bat by Bellinger there. And then later in the 7th inning, the Dodgers had another opportunity there with Cody Bell on the 2-0 count. Jake Lam homered. Belly struck out swinging, and then Gavin Lux, he gets his 2nd triple in 4 games, team leading 4th of the year. And with 2 outs, Belly and Betts at the plate, he grounds to third. And he grounds to short, and they weren't able to score a run. So they had the tying run at third with Mookie at the plate, and he couldn't get that big base hit that they needed. So, yeah, unfortunately didn't come through in that situation, but he would come through later in the game. So what are your big takeaways? Mine today, I mean, you saw on the night, I mean, it's great to have that second walk-off win. It's great the Dodgers are 8-1 during this homestand. It's great they're 28-13 at home, 5-54-29 on the year. They improved to 2-5 in extra innings games, but they did struggle early on this game. The offense, they definitely looked anemic at times. If you look at the offense as a whole, they ended up going 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. They left 10 runners on base, so that definitely wasn't pretty. They struck out 11 times, 8 times to Keegan Thompson, 2 to Chris Martin, and then once to Robertson later in the game. So, yeah, definitely the strikeouts. They were just didn't look comfortable at the plate. Like I said, the pitch sequencing was on point, but the Dodgers just weren't getting it done. But, hey, they get the win at the end of the day, and that is the most important thing. You got to find ways to win, and with teams, winners win, man. I mean, winners win. Let's just be honest about it. And teams like the Dodgers, you put them in these situations, and they're able to go out there and win you big games, and they can win multiple different ways. It can be death by paper cuts, or they can bring out the slug like we saw yesterday when they hit 4 home runs in the game. So, yeah, I think this Dodger team continues to impress with the fact that they have that just winner's mentality at this point. And, yeah, I think like Vince Scully said, when you're a good team and you're a lucky team, you're hard to beat. And the Dodgers, good and lucky at this point, and that's how you lead the league in wins, and you're building that cushion against the San Diego Padres. So, yeah, I think winning games like this is something that will pay dividends down the line. And if you look at the Dodgers, they're really building a nice cushion in the NL West. And I think that's something that's going to really help them in the second half of the season when they work guys back. All these guys that have dealt with injuries, and you really don't have to chase a team like the Giants, who sold their soul to the devil last year with all that orange and black magic that they were doing. And the Dodgers, 54-29, they're gaining separation on the Mets as well. So don't forget that. The Dodgers are gaining some separation. They're now 2.5 games up on the Mets in the National League. And they lead. When it comes to run differential, they're second only to the Yankees at plus 147, Yankees at plus 183. So this Dodger team is an elite team. They're a team that's a bona fide World Series contender, and they're a team that hasn't peaked. Whereas the Yankees, they've been fantastic, and they're just blowing teams out. But how often do you see the team with the best record? Just look at the 2019 Dodgers, right? The team with the best record doesn't always win. Just look at last year. I mean, the 88-win Braves won the World Series. But, guys, thanks for rocking with us. Loved hanging out with you on a Friday night. Go pop some bottles, drink some Modelo's, eat some carne asada fries. Don't let people rip your shirt off like Magic will, a.k.a. Will. But let's do a couple rounds of comments here, and we're going to be back with you Saturday. Jockstrat from EB. We got the SD Max Pats, Blue Jays frauds this year. I mean, hey, man, they're competing with the Rays and the Red Sox. Go Dodgers from Mitchell. I'm more scared of the Rays and the Cardinals. Thanks, D-Mac. Thanks, Rebecca, as always. Carnitas, yeah, let's get it popping, man. Good night, yeah, man. But yes, guys, thanks for rocking with us after the Dodgers get their second walk-off win of the week. Of course, you guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Also, be sure to follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Instagram. We're actually going to be doing an Instagram. Are you guys all on Instagram? Even if you're not, start one tonight because we're going to do an Instagram exclusive post-game show like once a week or something like that to try to get all the Instagram peeps introduced to the show as well. So let us. I'll give you guys more info on that. They want to just throw that on you for sure. But the Slam Diego is Sham Diego. That's a good one. I'll give you a finish him. Giants camera got hacker can't win now bums. I love that one too. No TikTok DMAC Mike Jones too. Hey man, no Insta full for me. Hey, don't worry guys, we're still gonna this is still gonna be on this channel too. So don't worry. Don't worry at all, Ben. The show's going nowhere. Scubs, I like that one. Dodgers taking over the division. Sham Diego, yeah man. The Dodgers body slam Diego. They are fraud Cisco. The San Diego Padres, but season, yeah, I mean, I think the Giants, I think they pretty much thought the season was over. I mean, they thought it was an 81 game season or something like that. But clearly, they Gabe Kapler is not as great of a manager as everyone has him out to be. But D-Mac for our next bench bat, bro, I'll come up there. I'll hit tanks, baby. I'll hit tanks, man. But thanks for rocking with us, guys, here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back with you Sunday. Like I said, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. Like I said, it's your show. I'm just hosting it, so be sure to support your own show. Drop some comments down below on all your takes. Thanks for participating. Thanks to the comment of the night to Boomer Assassin there. And, yeah, guys, and Dodgers win. Let's do this. And remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodgers baseball. We'll do a little bottom of the ninth. Couple more. Oh, here's my comments. A couple more we're going to do, and then we will be out. D-Mac, you're my hero. BC, D-Mac, you man. Sonny, you right back at you. Road donation. Great show. Great win. Thanks, Michael Rain, the third over on YouTube. Read the donation. Okay, I got to find a better way to get the donation ones up here. Let's see. Dodgers, the team of teams. Let me scroll up. D-Mac for closer. I think we should have. Saweetie as the closer over Campbell. K Casino. Here we go. Great show, Doug. How are the Giants dead, and how close are we to that Padres fire sale? I think the Padres, they're still going to get Tatis back. Their rotation has been strong. They have Manny Machado having an MVP season. They lucked out with the fact that he didn't have to miss significant time with what looked like it was a serious, significant ankle injury. So I think that they are definitely going to remain in it. I think you'll see them in the wild card game. I think you're going to see more parades for basic regular season wins for them. But as far as the Giants go, hey, man, send us Jock Peterson and Rodon. We'll send you some nachos, not even ones with jalapeno, just some nachos and cheese, like the real basic one. We'll send you some nachos and stuff like that. But, yeah, man, I also want to say rest in peace to the legend Mike Brito. Saw him a couple weeks ago, waved at him. He's, had the swagger, the aura, a legend in the game, finding Fernando Valenzuela and discovering so many elite prospects that turned out to be stars, the Ismael Valdez's, the Julio Urias's. So, yeah, I mean, he has his fingerprints all over this organization's rich history. So, rest in peace to the legend, Mike Brito, man. I think I read the super chat. D-Mac closer, think blue, Kyrie to LA. Wait, is Kyrie to LA? You breaking that news? Because Anthony King, don't get me all fired up, and I'll be able to sleep tonight. D-Mac, love the shirt. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. This is my shirt if I was like the manager at an Islands or something. What do you think? Here we go. It's the classic duel, Dodgers versus Yankees. Yeah, that would be great for Major League Baseball. I think Dodgers Yankees would be option number one. Dodgers Astros. That was my World Series pick just because I want to beat those bastards. Wait, I say that. D-Mac can date my sister. Jay Silva, relax. Okay. A good fact. Samuel say I would like you, Darvish. Post-game show tomorrow. We'll see, man. Something pops off. Might have to do emergency one. D-Mac got to return that shirt to the gift shop after the stream. Carnivorous, why you got to roast me? I got to roast me on my own post-game show, but there you go. You get to finish him. But thanks, guys. You got 1,000 messages. All right, cool, man. Put in that energy. I like that. Anthony Keene, you got to manifest this stuff. You got to LeVar Ball and speak it into existence. Am I right? But enjoy the rest of your Friday night, guys. Dodgers get the dub. See you next time. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time for